Hi everybody, this is Heather from CysterWigs, and today's video is from my bathroom by viewer request. So my apologies in advance for the terrible audio quality, but I really need to be at my sink to properly make this video. Why? Because we're gonna get messy, hence why I'm wearing kind of dressed down clothing. This is a tutorial about how to use the Mark Traynor Instant Facelift Bands by Silicone. These are, in my opinion, much better than the kinds you can get from Amazon and other sources. These are the kind that drag queens use. So if you've ever seen, like Valentina on RuPaul's Drag Race or any, Miss Fame, this is the brand they use. There are going to be a lot of disclaimers in this video because you're going to need products, supplementary products, a lot of prep time, a lot of prep, patience. And I mean, seriously, you need to plan in advance to be able to do this technique. And you have to have the kind of skin that does not get damaged easily. So if you have really, paper thin skin, or, you're really prone to bruising, like you're on blood thinners or something like that, I highly recommend just skipping this because it is not easy on your skin. If you're prone to migraines or pressure headaches, I do not recommend this. This is not comfortable. I want to get all those things out of the way immediately. This is not comfortable, okay? Because you're manipulating entire structures of your face to open it up for better makeup application. So this is definitely high drama, high glam, intense, intermediate to difficult level makeup application that I'm discussing here. So definitely not for beginners, definitely not for folks who, are sensitive to adhesives and things like that or prone to pressure headaches. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna need. You're gonna need good old-fashioned cotton balls. Obviously, you're gonna need the Traynor bands. I suggest, since I'm a wig wearer, that these are great if you wear wigs. I always get the ones that match my skin tone, so I get beige. They also have them in like a dark brown color, so that's cool. You will also want, seriously, silicone adhesive, strong bond. This is a Kryolan product. You can also get this at Silicone. It is a hardcore adhesive, like the kind that they use to put on like theater prosthetics and stuff like that, and stuff for the movies. So hardcore adhesive will stay all day once it's set, much better than using something like this, which is spirit gum. Spirit gum works really well for some stuff, but if you ever see that joke where somebody like on SNL or something like that has a mustache on and then it falls right off, they were probably using spirit gum. It doesn't hold as tightly as something like this. And by the way, because I'm talking to an audience of predominantly like wig wearers and people who wear like toppers and stuff, do not use this on your wigs and toppers to keep them on. I know a lot of you are always looking for adhesive products to use with your wigs and toppers. You will destroy them if you use this product on them, okay? Straight up, it's just too hardcore and it's really irritating. When I try to take these off at the end of the night, they do leave red marks on the sides of where they were applied. So that's due to the pressure of being pulled, and it's also due to the adhesive itself. So again, disclaimer, because I know if I don't give you guys like the disclaimers, people will try these things and I don't want them to come back to me and go like, Heather, you said I could use this on my wig, when I clearly said do not do that. So you've been warned. Also, we've got this Nye Bond Off. This is like the second bottle of this I've gone through. You will use a ton of this. So you don't want to be sensitive to this either. It's got mineral oil in it. It's basically like straight up liquid petroleum. Smells like oranges. It's got a very pleasant scent to it, but it is scented. And that's kind of a good thing because also it would smell like gross chemical grossness. So I prefer the orange scent. It doesn't bug me. But you will use a lot of that. That's a requirement. Do not use this stuff without picking up this stuff too. And you can also get this at Silicone. But I mean, it takes a lot of patience not only to apply these bands, but it takes a lot of patience to take them off. And you will notice as I'm doing this tutorial that I'm actually gonna place it where my hair is. So I have to be very careful about this regrowth and kind of shellacking it down with the adhesive before I apply the bands. So that way it's all being kind of pulled gently in the same direction. But when I go to take it off, that also means that when I'm taking it off, I have to be really careful. I actually use precision Q-tips and cotton balls. And I use that combination soaked in that Bond Off to take these off. So that's a little foreshadowing about what the second half of this video is gonna be about and why I have to do it in the bathroom, because this stuff goes everywhere. It makes a huge, huge mess, but it's literally the safest way to remove these products. And you'll see when I take it off, it's gonna be like running down my face. And so I always take a shower immediately after I'm done doing this whole process. So you're also gonna want some just regular old Scotch tape, really important. Hello. And I think that's about it. Oh, one more thing you'll need, isopropyl alcohol. You'll need this to remove any of the oil on the areas where you're going to be applying the adhesive. And so that's really important, because if there's any oil there at all, it won't stick properly. So this is a part you can't skip. So I'm gonna try to do the rest of this tutorial until we do the removal part at least, with voiceover actions enabled, because the audio will just be a little bit less jarring than this like really loud, echoey bathroom. So voiceover starting now. We have that technology. Step 1, we'll have lots of fun. So we're going to soak the cotton ball in a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, and then we're going to gently drag that over the areas where we plan to adhere the bands. And I kind of cut a wide swath. I cover a lot of ground here just in case I want to put the band in that location. And I may have to do that a couple of times. You basically just want to keep repeating this step until the cotton ball comes back clear. So you may have to use multiple cotton balls, but you want to make sure there's no brown residue or oil or anything like that. Particularly if you're going to put them in your hairline, you may have to go over that area a couple of times. So that way, if there's any hair product in your hair or anything like that, it doesn't prevent these bands from adhering properly. Meow. So now I'm going to take a little bit of clear Scotch tape, just in a really small section, and I'm going to go over that area where I applied the alcohol and just sort of methodically cover it like it's a little grid pattern with the tape. I may have to use multiple pieces of tape. You want to keep checking it periodically, because what you're really trying to remove is dead skin and loose hair, so that way that also doesn't prevent the bands from adhering properly. And you can see I'm sort of checking the band to see what kind of grossness comes back, and I'm just gonna keep at it until it stops being gross, essentially. Just a side note, I'm prepping my tapes now by threading these little bands through. Now, I have 2 sets of these Traynor bands, both in the beige color. Partially it's because the grommets will give up after a while and kind of fall off. Here's a little thing. Like, I have not only skin, but I'm young enough that that skin is still really attached to other underlying tissues. It hasn't completely like separated or anything. So when I use these Traynor bands, and if you are like me and you're young and you still have a fair amount of collagen in your skin, when you're using these, part of the reason why you need supplementary adhesion is because you're doing more than just pulling up the skin. You're also pulling like the face shape back a little bit. Like, there's a little bit of fat and stuff attached to some of this. So I need it to be a nice tight, but without looking windblown sort of effect. I will say though, that placement of the bands is really important. And now that I have, washed and prepped that area and removed the oil, I want to talk to you about where I'm going to be placing these. I'm actually going to be placing them kind of like here. I don't want to place them down here. This is a little bit more sensitive to skin. And I definitely don't want to place them way up here, because, I mean, what's that going to be pulling on? You'll get a little bit of pull here, but you really want it to be kind of like here-ish in this region, right around here. Where my hair is thick, that's the safety zone for me. And this technique, by the way, tremendously easier if you just shave your head. But it is not impossible to do this over hair, which I'm going to show you. Just bear in mind that, that's why how you remove it is so important, because if you try to rush through the removal after you get these on, you could rip out your hair. You could create traction alopecia areas. You don't want to do that. So again, I'm giving you lots of disclaimers to help you do this safely. but I'm gonna be placing 2 bands up here and I'm gonna be placing one down here. And what you'll see is when I put one up here, I'm basically going to be laying it, and here's one that I haven't taken the sticky stuff off of. I'm gonna be laying this one kind of like this, where it'll go kind of straight across the back of my head when it's applied and pulled. And what that'll do is give me kind of like that Bella Hadid sort of upturned eye effect. The goal here though is to be kind of gentle with it. I'm also gonna put some at an angle up here. Now you don't necessarily have to use all of these placements. I do though. I'm gonna put another one kind of up here at an angle that will go up and around the top of my head, kind of like where that U-shaped crown ear to ear is on a wig. That's where that band is gonna be pulled. And what that'll do is it'll actually, instead of lifting the eye, because that's what that first one will do, it'll lift the eye. What this one will do is it'll actually open up the eyebrow area a little bit while also lifting. See what this is doing to my cheekbone area when I do this? That's what that's gonna be doing. So it's not really gonna give me an eye lift necessarily, as much as it's gonna give me like a fake brow lift kind of look, while also kind of helping lift up the cheekbone structure and the skin that's connected to it. And the other thing that I'm gonna be doing is down here. And again, I'm gonna be placing these kind of like parallel to the floor, where they're gonna go right under my ear. You could be like, well, wouldn't we be able to see them? Not if you apply them right, because the band is gonna be almost like tucked behind your ear, and it'll go up underneath your wig. So as wig wearers, the world is our oyster when it comes to magical makeup techniques like this. So you might as well take advantage of them. And I like to do this, I already have a pretty prominent chin, and I don't necessarily have like an angular jawline or anything, but what I do have is asymmetry. I was in an accident when I was younger, when I was 30, and long story short, it was a traumatic head injury. It messed with the fat on my face, so that way I have a little bit more on one side than the other. The thing is, most people have a little bit of asymmetry like that, and that's what this is really gonna correct, because when I pull this here, it actually kind of diminishes the appearance of that asymmetry, which is basically just in this region. You know, I'm clocking myself, I know, but down in this region is where that asymmetry lives. And when I do that with the Traynor band, it kind of minimizes it, and then contouring and makeup magic does the rest. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply these before I finger up these areas. And in fact, I might go over this with the cotton swab with the alcohol one more time, since I was touching it with my fingers and that probably deposited some oil. And so let's do this. When you first get these out of the package, you will notice that they thread these this way, like where the little metal thing is going in, and then it kind of sticks out through, like here's the sticky side. This is sticky side down. I haven't removed it from the paper backing. And you can kind of see how they've threaded it in a way where this will be up against your skin, right? If this is the sticky side here, then this metal band thing here will be up against your skin. I don't like that. I think that's very uncomfortable. So I'm actually going to thread that the opposite direction, so that way the little metal tab is on the outside. Now that we are done with prepping the skin, it's now time for step 2. There's so much we can do to prep these bands and prep our hair with this stringy, difficult to work with adhesive. Hopefully I'm not overselling it. You can see I'm motioning where I'm going to be positioning this, and I am going to put it right there, and I'm going to use the adhesive itself to sort of shellac it down. Now it hardens almost on impact. It dries almost immediately. So, you know, you're not aiming for perfection or a completely smooth combing area. What you really want to do is kind of clump the hair together a little bit, so it gives it a really nice solid surface. So that way, instead of individual hairs being pulled, the whole area is taking the brunt of the adhesion. And that will prevent too much strain and pressure being placed on individual hairs, which would inevitably lead to traction alopecia. I'm really sensitive to that sort of thing, and I wanted you to know why I'm applying the adhesive directly to my hair. And I don't recommend using something like Got to Be Glued or something like that, because that will limit the adhesion of this kind of product. It will limit the adhesion of the bands themselves. You want to use the silicone adhesive itself
to kind of shellac the hair down. Now we very carefully apply the adhesive directly to the tapes, because while the tape has adhesive on it, it isn't a really strong adhesive. We want it to be strong, and this silicone adhesive is much better.
After you prepare your tapes, you're gonna wanna wait 2 minutes, 2 whole minutes, while this gets kind of tacky and stiff. You don't want it to get completely dry, but you want it to be really tacky, kind of like eyelash glue. You know, you want to wait until it's tacky before you start to apply it, so that way it doesn't slip and slide around. And just keep in mind, this stuff will adhere almost as soon as you apply it under those terms. So let's do this. I'm gonna put this band right around here, and aiming a little bit higher than my ear, because I don't want the band itself, the elastic band, to rub up against my ear. And I also want it a little bit on my skin so that it grabs that skin. Don't worry, we're gonna blend that in with makeup. So adhere to the edge first, and roll it back and push out any bubbles. Bubbles are the enemy when it comes to this. And just let that sit. Don't pull right away. As you probably saw, I used a little bit of Bond Off with one of these cheapy Eco Tools brushes that I don't use on my face anymore. I use that to kind of, you know, lube up the screw-in feature for the cap, so that way I can still get it open again afterwards. It won't stick quite as hard. Because as you see, this stuff goes everywhere. It gets really, really stringy, and an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And if you feel that the outside of the bottle is still tacky after you do that, just put some more Bond Off on it with that brush and just kind of let it sit for a bit. You can always wash it off later. The key is you don't want that glue to set up shop on the outside of the bottle, because it'll make it an ungodly mess. You know, just make sure you clean up while you do this. Speaking of which, we're now going to use that same brush with the Bond Off on it, and I'm going to keep dipping it into the Bond Off. You don't want a ton of it on there, so I'm just going to keep trying to take that off of there. What we're going to do now is feel around the edges, because I mean, it's Invisitape. You're not really going to be able to see where you've got excess glue, but you can feel it on the outside of the tape. And your makeup won't stay down properly. But you want to be really, really careful where you put this stuff. And disclaimer, if you're acne prone like me, this might make your face break out, this whole thing. No, beauty is not for the weak. Like these kind of hardcore, kind of drag inspired, theater inspired techniques, they're not pain-free and they're not easy. But the effect is generally pretty worthwhile. And if you follow all these steps and you use an abundance of caution, and you know, you don't use too much of this adhesive, you just use it enough to get the job done, which takes some practice, because it takes a while to figure out how much you need versus how much you don't need. Once you get the technique down, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's something you can keep on for hours and it won't really cause you many problems. But during the phase of this adventure where you're still learning what to do, you know, that's when some of those more problematic components can creep right in. So hence why all the disclaimers, I'd rather you know up front what you're about to get yourself into by exploring this. Okay, so I'm just putting this anywhere where I've got extra adhesive to try to get it off. And I'm actually gonna follow this up with some rubbing alcohol to remove the excess oil. I just wanna get this extra glue off of here because if I try to contour over that or add any kind of foundation, it's just gonna be a nightmare. So it's time to pull the bands. Nigel has offered to help me out because I can't really reach behind my head that well, so he's going to help me pull all these. And before I do, I'm just going to gently sort of pull on these so you can kind of see like what they do. And that they are in fact quite sticky. See how it's kind of like making the arch of my eyebrow go whoop, like that little tail end go whoop like that up. It's like a little mini brow lift. And it's also pulling this whole part of my face up because this is gonna go up and around like that. This one, the two ones on the side for the eye, they're going to, we don't necessarily want that to be quite as tight, Nigel, just so you know. So these ones here, you can try to get that as tight as you can possibly get it, right? Because I want a lot of lift vertically, but I don't necessarily want a lot of lift horizontally.
Yeah, like Catherine Hellman from Brazil.
You know, we don't want to pull these back too far because again, we don't want to look windblown or like we've had a lot of obvious work done, unless that is exactly what you're going for, and then by all means do it. But we're probably going to use like maybe this one here that I'm pointing out, which
second one,
the second grommet.
Yeah. And
then with these, I like to attach them like the one up here. So this one we're gonna get really tight. We'll have a couple of extra grommets up here. And we're gonna try to fit both of these through the same one. So I'm gonna let Nigel go ahead and do that. And by the way, this is what this looks like when this is pulled and when it goes kind of upwards, which is what is gonna happen. See how it kind of evens out that part of my face and kind of snatches the jawline. All right, Nigel, do your dirty work. I'm gonna turn this side so you can kind of get a look at what you're doing.
You want this as tight as possible.
As tight as you can possibly get it.
All right, top hole.
Awesome. And don't worry about this, by the way, being up too high, because again, we're gonna be attaching this bottom grommet to the neckband, so it's gonna even itself out.
All right. Second grommet.
Woo!
Cracking bit of dose, this grommet. And these two, you want...
Right, and I'm gonna try to relax my neck as much as possible so I don't get a ton of creasing here.
Yeah.
And this is the part I really need his help for because it's hard for me to see that grommet or to feel it because I've got like acrylic nails on. So...
Challenging as well, I haven't got impressive nails. Okay, so... That's what it looks like, a bit of a crisscross there. At the back.
And see what that did to my face? And with this, and I'm actually gonna move this down just a smidge because I don't necessarily need it to be quite that. There we go. There we go. Because I don't necessarily want this to all be like super, super, super pulled upwards. I just want it to be like soft. And when I get my hair on and everything, that's what that'll do. I'm grabbing his butt.
You're gonna edit that out, I hope.
No promises. We're married, it's safe. Anyway.
I've been sitting around in my lonely room, waiting till we're alone, only me and you. And I'm counting down the seconds, but it feels like time
to take all of the bands and crap off. This is where it gets messy.
Blah, 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 yakety schmackety. I decided to speed this part up because it literally took about 10 minutes, and that's about average for me when it comes to taking these off. All I did was take a cotton ball and soak it generously in the Nye Bond Off I mentioned earlier. And you just kind of let it sit there behind the tapes, and you use a precision Q-tip with the same Nye Bond Off on it to sort of pry the tapes gently loose. Sometimes I'll just set the cotton balls right behind where the tape is and just kind of let it sink in and break up the adhesive bonds a little bit. And then when that's all done, and I actually get the tapes off and I actually don't use any additional pressure, I just sort of gently take my time and just kind of soak it up. And this goop will run down my face. You can see it getting on my neck, making everything all shiny and glistening. And that's because you want to use a lot of this stuff to get all of that off there. And look at that, it just comes right off. It's great. But I had to speed this part up because this process, it's deceptively simple looking when it's sped up, but it takes about 10 minutes to get all of the bands off, but it works like a charm. And then you can use the remainder of that Nye Bond Off on the cotton swabs and the cotton balls to remove the remainder of the residue that may be on your head. I had to record this part of the video in 2 separate takes, so you may notice I don't have a ton of hair on, at least I don't have as much hair as I did in the initial portion of the video. And if you caught on to that, sharp eye. But just so you know, the process is still the same, and you can use the remainder of the Nye Bond Off or even a little extra in your hair directly, and that will help break up any of the adhesive that's in your hair. I do it all the time. And then take a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a cotton ball and use that to break up the rest of the Bond Off that may be left over in your hair. Then hop in the shower. And you can see I'm using Pond's cold cream to remove my makeup. And then I'm gonna hop in the shower. I'm not gonna film that though.
Please be sure to share this with a friend. There aren't a lot of tutorials about this, even within the drag community, even though a lot of people use it. They use it as kind of like a trade secret. Well, now the secret is out. I told you where to get this stuff. I told you how to use it. Please do me a solid and share this video, spread the word, help me build my audience. And that is absolutely free. So thank you. And thank you for watching. From me and Nigel, have a great night, everybody.
See ya.
Bye-bye.